In the rewrite tonight, this man thinks that this woman has a weight problem and is unattractive. Glenn Beck stupidly described this video of Meghan McCain to his radio audience as depicting Meghan McCain naked, and then pretended to vomit on his radio show at the thought of Ms. McCain naked. Ms. McCain replied in a Dear Mr. Beck letter on the Daily Beast. She pointed out that what Glenn Beck was referring to was a PSA for skin cancer awareness. Quote, where I posed in a strapless, juicy dress to appear naked as a metaphor for the dangers of going out in the sun without sunscreen. I thought that pretending to be naked, even if I only disrobed to my collarbone, would hopefully call attention to skin cancer, a disease that both my parents have suffered from. Ms. McCain went on to use most of her reply space to Glenn Beck to bring more attention to the problem of skin cancer, with some particular details about her father's difficult struggle with it. She then gave Beck a parenting note that he needs to, but most certainly will fail to take seriously. Quote, you're a full-grown man with teenage daughters who are probably dealing with the sexist, body-obsessed media environment that is difficult for all women. Is this really the legacy you want to be leaving for yourself? Not surprisingly, Meghan's mother, Cindy McCain, tweeted her rage at Beck for his, quote, vitriol and hate. We can all now patiently await Beck's tweet the day one of his daughters is attacked on the radio for the way she looks. Also today, as I pursued my habit of reading smart op-ed writers I disagree with, I came across John Podhoretz's op-ed in the New York Post. John Podhoretz was a speechwriter for Ronald Reagan and the first President Bush. He also served as a consultant for the NBC series The West Wing. This is how he welcomed Newt Gingrich into the presidential campaign. Newt Gingrich has a restless and outsized intelligence that is tragically unleavened by any kind of critical sensibility. When he's seized by an idea, he believes in it wholeheartedly and makes a very good case for it. Unfortunately, it's often immaterial whether the idea itself is sound or wacko. He can't still his hunger to deliver grand pronouncements on life, liberalism, conservatism, religion, and whatever else swims into his consciousness. And while he may understand the kinds of hot-button issues that get to people, what he does not understand is how he, Newt Gingrich, comes across to people. The answer? Not well. His career as a public figure has been marked by the kinds of tenured pronouncements, mostly about the personal misconduct of others, that can only be likened to a brilliant professional golfer who consistently knocks the ball into the same water hazard again and again. He has a weakness for wildly inappropriate Nazi analogies. People like me, he said in 1994, are what stand between us and Auschwitz. The two most famous instances of his foot-in-mouth disease came when he likened the Democratic Party to Woody Allen's affair with his own pseudo-stepdaughter and suggested that if you were upset by the fact that Susan Smith drowned her 2 children so she could run off with her boyfriend, you needed to vote Republican. Yet, while he felt free to hold others' personal conduct in moral contempt, he only recently offered an almost comically self-aggrandizing excuse for his own personal weaknesses in an interview with a Christian broadcaster. There's no question at times of my life, partially driven by how passionately I felt about this country, that I worked far too hard and things happened in my life that were not appropriate. Newt Gingrich never received more than 100,000 votes in his life. He'll never be president. Well, nothing to rewrite there. I have never agreed with John Podhoretz more. And if Michelle Bachmann decides to run, I can't wait to read how John Podhoretz welcomes her to the presidential campaign.